you there.
Thanks.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, friends?
Are we fangirling and fanboying or what? I mean, what an honor to have Seth Green here in Manchester. First of all, I've been near your table and you've been having so much fun with the fans. How's the experience been so far?
Oh, it's great. Everybody's been really nice. You know, that's what I came here for.
Have you had a chance to see any of the beautiful city of Manchester?
Oh yeah, I saw the block outside the hotel, and I saw there's a lobby in the hotel.
Oh, we're spoiling you, man.
Oh yeah, and I actually enjoyed a meal at the restaurant inside the hotel.
Inside the hotel?
Yeah, it's great. Oh my gosh, I actually had a really amazing drive over here. It's a wonderful van. The interior was, you know, a great experience. Yeah, out the window I passed what looked like buildings, I guess, and trees. Yeah, get a good look at the city.
You're seeing all the sights. You're quite the explorer.
Yeah, I've hit everything that's on the, you know, to visit list.
Yes, indeed, lobby included. They're a rowdy bunch of these guys.
I got this like old school Casey Jones back there. I love that. Come on, man. Yeah, no, it's, I don't know, I've been really into pop and genre stuff my whole life, my whole career, like as a fan and also as a participant. So coming to Comic-Cons and meeting all the people that feel the same way about all this stuff, that's usually what's the most fun for me. I haven't been surprised by anything because everybody in the UK is so polite and friendly. You know what I mean? Everybody's really nice and everybody's been very cool. So no surprises, just payoffs of good expectations.
Good vibes here in Manchester. You guys have been a great crowd so far.
Yeah.
You give yourselves a round of applause. That's totally okay. Now I know you have a lot of respect for our cosplayers here. What is it like for someone to cosplay as you? Has that happened here? I'm sure it's happened other places.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of like Scott Evil, people will show up, do some kind of Austin Powers thing, or nobody's ever cosplayed the Napster that I've seen. Well, you know what's funny? I've seen a couple people on Halloween do a Kenny Fisher, which I really found hilarious. We worked so hard trying to come up with that costume, not with any intent of everybody making it a costume, you know? So.
We've grown up watching all of your stuff, but what are you a fan of personally? Like, what strikes your fancy?
I love all this stuff. I can look around and see a bunch of things. You got The Simpsons over here, some Walking Dead stuff over here. You already heard me declare my love for Casey. Some Deadpool, some Chucky, Thor over here. Come on, I love all this stuff. Oh my God, The Incredibles! Don't even act like we don't see the greatest superhero in the crowd. That's the thing. I'm a fan of all this stuff, but I think people figured that out pretty quick about me. Yeah.
That's a good thing. Well, I was talking to him, I had the pleasure to speak with him yesterday about how one of the first movies I saw you in, which I'm not sure if I can name, but it was a fantastic movie with one of my other favorites, P. Dempsey, Patrick Dempsey. And you informed me that you were about 14 when you made that movie. So tell us about what it's like to star in movies and be a part of the entertainment industry at such a young age.
You know, it's funny, I knew really young that what I wanted to be was an actor, and I felt inclined towards that career at such a young age with such clarity that it made me approach everything as if it was going to be long-term decisions. So I looked at other actors that had started as kids and grown to be adults, or had worked at different points at different ages, and where they went right and where they went wrong, you know? And so I had an objectivity about my place or my success or lack of success. It was all, it's not like it wasn't challenging, but I had so many examples of other people who had done it well or totally blown it. I was determined to just not quit and not fail. So as a kid, I guess that was like particularly challenging because I was both figuring myself out as a person at the same time that I was working under those kinds of required disciplines in a very adult world. But you know, I was talking to Dante upstairs, people started when we were kids, and we're just kind of lucky to have sidestepped some of the big obstacles or trappings that take kids down. You know, just to be still alive and still working and still have savings and not have, you know, an unchecked series of addictions or mental anguish. Like, I feel pretty good. Yeah.
You're great.
Hey, thanks.
You're great. We have so many questions in the audience, so guys, go ahead and line up at the microphone. This is going to take a while because, again, your career has spanned so many great different TV projects, film projects, and in so many different genres. But let's go ahead and go to our first fan question here.
Come on, guys, we're going to get through it. Everybody's question. Here's how it goes.
Off to a great start.
This is already working. Can't believe it. We got to have a mic technician on hand, someone who understands how the microphone functions.
Hello.
There we go.
Come on.
First of all, you went in my restaurant last night, so thank you so much for coming in.
Hey, that was
so kind to all the staff.
so good and delicious. Thanks, man.
I'm so happy with that. Second of all, I want to ask you about Party Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah, I talked to one of your waitresses about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You kind of came off the back of two really good franchises going into that movie. So what was it about that particular movie that made you go, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to tell this story.
That's right. Yeah. So I love acting. It's really my favorite thing, and I very rarely get asked to play characters other than like the affable stoner or, you know, the bad influence. Like, I'm always the guy in the movie who's trying to give the lead of the movie the drink or the drug or the whatever. It's like, hey man, you should just do this, right? Whatever. So when the documentary filmmakers, Randy and Fenton, the guys, they run World of Wonder, which produces like RuPaul's Drag Race and everything. So this is one of the first, all that stuff. So they had made a documentary called Party Monster, just because they were out in that world photographing, filming. They had all this footage. So they called me and said they wanted me to play James St. James. And I couldn't, I was like, are you sure? So that was it. I read his book. I watched their doc. We spent like years developing that script. But the why I wanted to do it, I thought that's a really important story. Like, you see how much the origins of that culture, that lifestyle, all of that creativity, and the ways in which it can be both celebrated or weaponized, how all of that has permeated pop. 30 years later, it's some of the biggest, most money-making pop on the planet, right? Ballroom, drag, all that style, all that kind of creativity, storytelling, all that stuff. So anyway, that's why I wanted to be a part of it. But also, man, you get rare chances as an actor to play characters as complicated and deserving of a fair portrayal as James. So, yeah. Cheers, man.
Quick question for me. Are we going to see you as a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race? That's my dream.
I don't really like...
See?
Listen, guys, I love being on television, but I don't like judging things. I really don't. I don't like being in that movie.
Yes, please.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you again.
Okay, the question I asked you before, if you thought of it, what's your favourite quote from a show that will not be named?
Right, so one of my favorite quotes from a show that nobody's ever heard of, a character that I played from time to time, getting even with a former bully. He says, hey, you remember that time you called me Chris Gristle? Well, burn for it. That's probably my favorite. Don't even acknowledge that, guys. We could all get arrested.
One more question. In the voice of the fat blonde boy from that show, Would you be able to say hi to my brother Liam?
You know, I can't tell Liam hello. I'm not allowed to express my sentiment for your brother Liam in any way, shape, or form. And if anyone says otherwise, I'll kill them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was
Thanks,
an
man.
honor to meet you.
My pleasure, man. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hello.
Hey there.
Thank you.
See, you gotta learn those workarounds.
First off, nice hits.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Any children forms or threes?
I think they're 4s, maybe 3s. No. See that? I don't even know. Isn't that embarrassing for me? Good thing nobody's filming this.
I know, right? Okay, second question. If anyone wants to become do some animation or shows or some, or anything similar to maybe making or whatever, what advice would you give them?
Just do it. I know that sounds almost too simple, but it's the truth, right? It's the truth. Just make your stuff. Because nobody notices. Nobody's waiting to give you an opportunity. You have to prove to them why your thing is important. So if I had the ability to make a TV show or distribute it on my cell phone when I was a teenager, that would be all I would do, is just make stuff. You seem like somebody, I saw your comics, man. You know how to write, you know how to organize. Get a bunch of mates together and just make your thing. Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying, man. You don't need my help. You got this covered.
You got this, boy. You got it. Thank you so much.
Hi, Seth.
Hey, man.
First of all, thank you yesterday for the selfie. I was kind of overwhelmed how huge it was. So
I think it's just well, thanks, everybody. I think it's just appreciate. Like I haven't come here before, so it's nice for everybody to come out.
So I thought I'd come after and say hello. My questions are 2 parts, but it's the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to remember this. Does de jour still mean family?
You know, de jour means good memory. and de jour means great question.
I loved that so much. Wish we had a clip.
And can you do the face?
You know I can't legally do the face. It's not something that anybody could ever ask of me or take from me.
Also, I remember the song. Can I sing a little bit for you?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to hear that.
Can we get I'm your back door lover. Come up to my house, let's go here. Back door lover. Cause you mean no less to me. Back door lover. We'll meet you here in secret spot. I'll show you a love that's love and heart.
Good job. I love that. Blast from the past. One of my
That's still
favorites.
one of my favorite movies of all time. Even the beginning bit and the plane crash.
Yes. That was great, man. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much. Well done.
Let's go. We got pop stars in the house. Hi there. Anytime you get to work with actors that you've already worked with before, it just deepens the experience, right? So one of my favorite things about somebody like Allison Hannigan is that we've known each other since we're kids. Like I met her when she was 12 or 13, I was like 12 or 13. We got to know each other at all these different points in our life, in our career. It just makes getting to play a role together that much easier, that much more familiar. You feel really liberated as an actor because you're not thinking about anything except being honest in the park, so I always like it. Yeah, cheers.
Question, thank you.
You got this, pal. Wrestle it down like Prince. Prince, the music star, not the actual monarchy descendant. Yeah. Let's hear it.
What was your favorite scene inside of the movie from the movies?
In any of the movies? Okay, so amongst any of the things I've ever done, what is my absolute favorite? I don't know. It's quite a bit. I should have been. And why is it du jour? That's what it is. Like, tell me about your favorite clip and why is it du jour? Yeah, yeah, definitely. Going down with that plane, filming a music video in the fuselage of that plane, choreographing all of those dance moves with a bunch of other untrained, non-professionals. That's that. Yeah, let's say that. No, thank you. Now, give me your question. We'll get sidetracked so fast.
So, going back to people you've gotten to work with in the past, so of course, if my shirt doesn't give it away,
is it the Bad Batch?
close enough. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say anything like that, but basically,
Was that Clone Wars? What's your shirt?
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, Star Wars. Yeah. I've heard of that. Isn't it the one where they have the war but in space?
It's set in space, yeah. You're gonna love it.
War in space. I've seen that picture, yeah.
So I just want to know, what was it like when you first got to meet George Lucas and you get to work with him, and how he inspired your work going forward?
That's quite a bit of to cover. Well, here's the, obviously a guy like George Lucas, all of his work was profoundly influential on me. It's some of the first sci-fi that I saw, some of the first like grand storytelling that I love, and one of the first creators that I ever understood to be sort of singularly responsible for a vision, even though dozens, if not hundreds of other artists contributed to it. So, as you can imagine, the first like 6 times I met him, I was an idiot and not cool, super dumb, really awkward, would say things like, hey, cool, so what's up, you know? A lot of that. And luckily it didn't make any kind of impression on him. So by the time I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure out how to meet this guy and like have a conversation, I had plenty of time to think about it. Work with him is, when you get to work with somebody that you really admire or that you study, you have to separate yourself from that reality and just be able to do your best job. You know what I mean? Typically when you're in one of those situations, it's on purpose, right? You didn't get hired on accident. You didn't win a raffle. You're like in the room because you're supposed to do what you do in that room. So you just gotta do it, right? Like anytime I've been in a movie with somebody that I'm impressed by, you turn that off. You just like, do your job. You know what I mean? And usually when you got somebody who's that much of an awesome expert, you shortcut all of the how do we, what do I, would you if I, you know what I mean? You just get down to it. So that's the upside. Whenever you get the chance to work with somebody like that, just do what you're there to do. Think about it later. Right on, man. Yep.
Spoof on figures.
Yep.
I just wanted to know, like,
how did I make a career playing with toys? I don't know.
We all want to do that. I just wanted to know how you came about creating that,
accident, total happenstance. I always loved stop motion. I've always been into action figures and all that kind of stuff. So originally, I wasn't thinking that we'd make a show. I knew a bunch of guys from Wizard Magazine and talked to them about making a short. And then it was in like the end of '98, beginning of '99. And there was this thing starting to develop globally called the internet. A lot of people were doing a thing called electronic mail or email for short, but there was nobody making content for those kinds of platforms. And Sony was experimenting with pre-broadband digital distribution. They were like, what if there was a landing site where people could view linear content, sort of like a capsule or a portal? Yeah. Anyway, so they gave us a little bit of money to make a little bit of what would become that toy show. But it was like 4 years later. So we made this stuff and nobody cared. And then a US network called the Adult Swim started getting a little bit of money and some popularity. And they gave us some money to make a little bit more of this thing. And here we are 17 years later.
And also, you've done like specials for DC and Star Wars.
It's true.
If you were to do another special,
this is cool, right? It's alright, man. Let's take off my jacket. We're hanging out.
That elicited a really weird response.
Yeah, that was strange.
Weird.
I'm not D'Angelo, guys. I don't know what to...
Sorry.
No, sorry.
Like DC specials and Star Wars specials, which special would you go for next? Which franchise would you pick to spoof next?
I don't know. Do you got something that you want to see?
I don't know, Marvel one.
Not likely.
Then you could do a Buffy special.
More likely.
Hey, you're right.
Hey man, how you doing?
How are you enjoying the English summer?
I love it. I love it.
Well,
I wish I could stay longer, you know?
being in the red spectrum, it's ideal in a different
I'm not gonna complain. This is perfect for me. I love Overcast.
I just want to know how much in America the English sense of humour is actually understood. Because you see odd sketches in Family Guy, like telling the drinking time into a London pub and explaining cricket and shit like that.
Did you hear him?
Because obviously you also, whatever you do is massive over here. But how much do Americans get the British content?
Don't make me speak for Americans. I grew up on Python and Faulty Towers and that's all. Like I grew up on hard British sensibility. Even the Benny Hill has the most,
politically incorrect.
Yes, yeah, but there's a particular nonchalance to British humor that I've always found really attractive. There's intelligence, there's a wit, there's a sophistication, even in the most base expressions, and that's always something I've tried to emulate. So when I talk about where something like Robot Chicken came from, it's all like Flying Circus inspiration. It's the almost very short, go from here to there, now for something completely different. Just that the audience is savvy enough to follow you wherever you're going and be able to catch the joke. That's something I've always loved.
As an American audience, savvy enough, because we just get it. Don't we? We just get it over here.
Don't make me. Man, have you been looking at our country the last couple of years? This shit is crazy.
You voted with Donald Trump, big God.
Who's that? the guy from the game show? He'd never be a politician. You're crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but the Simpsons having numbered way behind.
Well, you know as well as I do that the Simpsons have been worshipping the occult for generations. How do you have a show on the air for 60 years? Who's the main writer? Nostradamus. He's in the credits. Like, I'm not making it up. Follow the sign. Do your own research, man.
Take care, Dave. Thanks very much indeed.
Wait, get closer. Hey, what's up?
I promised to have this question before you also announced it earlier this week. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So what was your favorite project to work on and why was it Mass Effect?
Yeah, well, it was obviously Mass Effect. And the why is because I got to participate in a massive storytelling machine that had some of the coolest and most compelling characters and character relationships of anything I've ever worked on. So one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do is meet people who have played all 3 installations of the game. We've been friends for like 180 hours, right? They've got me in their ear being like, you gotta turn left, bro, or whatever I would say in the game. It's a really special kind of connection. No, you're welcome.
And I have to ask, because we have so many gamers in the audience, are you a gamer, and if so, what are you into right now?
You know, I don't think I'm a traditional gamer in that I totally fell off as soon as FPS stuff hit the scene. My buddy was like, let's play this new game, GoldenEye. And I was like, and my character, you know, you do the quad screen where they're like, everybody come over, we got 6 TVs and everybody's a different thing. Oh, everybody's expert sniping, and I would see myself on everyone else's screen like this. And then I would see someone else come up behind me and just be like, over and over and over. I was like, oh,
It's GoldenEye for you.
I don't think I like this game at all. So by the time they were making stuff like Call of Duty, I was like, maybe I'll just be in the game. And I don't have to play it. But my wife is a hardcore gamer, so I might have getting to see all of the games, you know, from Destiny to Hogwarts, like she plays all of it. So.
Cinematically beautiful now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to be a voyeur. Amazing cosplay cover.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I really love animated movies. I'd probably say something traditional like Sleeping Beauty, right? But, oh, you know, no, that's not true. The first Into the Spider-Verse is probably, right, it's genuinely one of the best movies I've ever seen, let alone being an animated film and being like a deeply emotional, artistic explosion. I just think it's great. Have you seen the sequel? We can't, you know, we shouldn't like promote it or anything, but it's also so good. So good. Cheers.
Thank you.
What's up, man? This is the first guy that's had to like raise the mic up.
Question. Another film that shall not be named.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture, yeah.
So, if you were to encounter your fear 30 years ago versus your fear 30 years on, what would it manifest itself as, and how would you beat it?
Well, you know, over time, I think I've developed, I wouldn't call it a fear, but an apprehension of large gatherings of people.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah, just like large scale. I'm not a big dude, so typically when I'm in a crowd of like 1,000 people, it's gotten in my life progressively less and less comfortable. So how do I overcome that? Hey man, you know, sometimes you're just real afraid of something and you just do it anyway. Right?
I agree.
Cheers.
Hi Seth, my name's Andy.
How you doing?
So I'm trying to think how to rephrase the question, so I'm going to let someone else ask the question for me.
Let's get creative, yeah.
So if you were to like do a musical in Broadway, would you be up for taking your family to Broadway? Would that be a thing?
The Handmaid's Tale? What? Hey, by the way, that was pretty great.
Thank you.
I bet anybody here would have recognized it.
It's Rex Harrison, of course. That's who's going to be, right? You know?
But hey, if that's a real question, I'd love to do a play. I got to do a play in my 20s, the same year that I made the first Austin Powers. I got to do a play called American Buffalo, which is one of the best, as a performer, it was like one of the coolest challenges I'd ever had. So, yeah, no one's asking me to do theater. But we'll see. I'll get them one of these days.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Round of applause, by the way. That was amazing. We have some talented folks here in Manchester. Look at that.
Hello, really pleasure to meet you, Seth. And
That's my pleasure. thank you for carrying the torch for all those gingers in the world.
It's okay, it's my pleasure too. Yeah.
Nobody really understands our burden, but I see you.
Yes, I see you too.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Obviously all family and stuff, but one of the, like you're this gold member.
Oh yeah.
I was like from older and older. I just want to know what it was like working with like Mike Myers, because he was just a comic legend. What was it like working with him?
Well, having been a fan of the Halloween franchise for years.
I think that's Michael Myers.
I'm sorry? Well, you know, he's very sophisticated. Yeah, he only goes by his first full name, Michael T. Myers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime, man. This is great. I'm not going to get in trouble for anything.
Go great.
Get closer to the thing. Pull the microphone down. Come on, like Mary J. Blige. You gotta get in there. Gotta get right in the microphone. I can't. Hello, Lisa. Let's hear it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I made both of those. Is what? Can I remember lines? I don't think I can. You know what's funny? One of my favorite lines from the kayaking movie is a bit that we made up. We're in the field, like in the cannabis field, and everything's on fire. And they were just like, just say something about like, you know, you can get your doctor, they'll take away your being a doctor. And I was like, take away my being a doctor. Okay, good. We just started like going on and on and on and on. And I don't even remember what I got to. I just remember that it got to them like, and then I won't have any shoes. And they'll take all my shoes. And I'm gonna need shoes to be a doctor. You can't be a doctor without your shoes. Oh, you have? Of course, everybody loves seeing me nurtured by wilderness animals. Well, what's that? Sure, everybody likes the scene where we're all in our underwear together. I told them when we were doing it, I'm like, you know guys, this is going to be a lot of people's favorite scene. So why don't we just sandwich it real tight, give people what they want, you know?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they kept hosing us down too. They're like, we were supposed to be in a rain, so we were just like, Faith No More in a video, just like covered in rain. How about what? What's your mate's name? Nick. All right, guys, we're all gonna do this. Happy birthday, dear Nick. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. Voice of an angel this one.
Yeah, no, people say that all the time. They're like, was that Celine Dion? No, it was Seth Green.
I'm sure you get mistaken all the time for each other.
Not Seth MacFarlane, no. That guy. The voice like a combine. You want to hear someone that would get, you know, entered right into heaven. That's Seth Green. Boy, his voice, it sounds like an angel, like an actual angel.
Yeah. You swooped on in and you serenaded us.
Thanks for going with me on that.
You're very welcome.
Most people would have shut that down a
Here
while
for
ago.
support.
Hey man, what's in the case? Okay. Highly sus, just letting you know.
I personally am a big fan of Austin Powers and Family Guy.
Me too, hey, thanks.
My question is, when you were working on The Simpsons guy,
Yes.
were you physically in the same room as the rest of the Family Guy and The Simpsons?
You know. No, as it is with most of those things, just because the scheduling is so complicated, everybody records in entirely different places. There's very few occasions where everybody is in, where even like two people are in the same place, which seems crazy, but it also, I don't know, it gives you a technical precision for the editing that's very difficult to get otherwise.
Physically being in the same room as everybody else must make it more enjoyable as well.
Anytime anybody can be together together, your energy is so much better. Yeah. What's in the case, man?
Game of show and tell, we could go horribly wrong.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you so much.
Graduating class, what's up?
Thank you very much.
How's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. You know, just having a chat.
I just want to ask you, is there anything left that you really want to do? Whether it's acting or anything that you want to do, sketch as a robot chicken,
No, guys, thanks. And you know, thanks for telling me. Yeah, I love doing this. That's really the truth, is I love doing this. I love telling stories, I love playing characters, I love entertaining people. You know, that's really my favorite. So, pre both of these strikes happening, because I got strikes in two different directions. In the States right now, the writers union and the actors are on strike for the first time together in 80 years, because the contract sucks. But the whole point is, when we get back to work, I got a bunch of stuff I'm very excited to make.
Anything you can think or real?
I got a show I want to make, like a TV show. Actually, I have 2 TV shows that are very different. One thing's kind of an animated thing, the other one's a like live action thing. And then I've got, how can I say it? I've got like a limited that I want to make, like a limited series. There's a bunch I'm excited about. I'm excited about the stuff that I make, so it won't be long.
Good luck with them.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Here he is. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Hello.
I know I would a bit young to be a Family Guy fan.
Nope.
But it's a show that me and my dad watch all the time. And it's very
Does he provide any kind of context for the jokes, or is he just like, yeah, you have at it?
no context.
Right? He's a good parent.
Can I ask a good question?
Let's hear it.
Can you do the laugh? The Christmas laugh?
No! No. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, kind of leading off of that, I've been watching Family Guy since, I think I was 3, sleeping in my brother's room, watching it on his telly.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, like, watching it since then. And I was wondering, like, I loved all the voices, still do, all the actors still do. And I was wondering if there was any other characters that you can, like, do any impressions of, or...
I don't really do impressions of the other characters, but I did play another character on the show. He's the AV club president. Name is Mr. Neil Goldman.
Yeah.
Mr. Neil Goldman. Nobody really knows Neil's. Nobody pays too much attention to Neil, but Neil's got a lot of fans out there. Like I believe, and some people know who Neil is. Neil puts a lot of work and effort into his studies, keeps himself on the proper dean's list. Some people would even say that Neil's their favorite character. That's a lie. No one's ever said that. Well, Neil satisfies himself late at night. Wait, that way the way you're thinking. Actually, probably exactly how you're thinking. Yeah, that's a guy that exists. You could say that Neil Goldman exists. If people would say that.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, this is very polite. Thanks, man.
Another iconic redhead, Neil.
Oh, snap. Here he is. What do you got?
So this is a question for you, Chris Gressel.
That's me.
What actor or actress was your favourite to work with on the Family People?
That's really challenging. I've gotten to work with a lot of people that I admired. And probably one of the best examples of that is I got to make a movie with Robin Williams, who was one of my biggest childhood, teenager, adult influences, both as a comedian and a performer, a voiceover actor. We got to make a movie together called Old Dogs, another movie where I was nurtured by a giant zoo animal. Nobody's seen the picture. In the movie, I fall into a zoo enclosure with gorillas, and I get, the gorilla thinks I'm its baby, as usual. Large animal's like, oh, this must be my infant offspring, let me nurture it. It's in several films. Yeah. So that was probably the coolest, man. Getting to work with Robin, we got to do months of work together. Yeah, that was awesome.
So also, do you think that Family Guy will ever actually be finished? Like,
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I can't. You'd have to realize how insane it is for me, right? So, 1997, I read that script and I was like, man, this is so funny. How is this even gonna get on the air? What if I could get this job, right? Totally improbably, then I get the job. They're like, yeah, you're gonna play this part. I was like, so I got to play the part. We make a couple of episodes, do the press for it, and they're like, the show's canceled. And I was like, nah, that sounds about my luck. Oh well. 3 years later, the show's been performing on the Adult Swim. They bought like the second run of that whole, I think it was like 19 episodes. And it works enough where like it's crazy ratings. People are like, yo, this is a funny show. Enough that Fox sells 1 million DVDs of the season. They're like, maybe we put this on DVD, see if that's a thing. It sells 1 million copies. They're like, Jesus Christ, do we have any more? And so 3 years later, we make a bunch more, and now we're in like the 20th season. It's insane. It doesn't seem real. It's like the greatest argument for a sim theory that I've ever heard. Nobody's heard that? The idea that we're all in a simulation? Sounds like bullshit. But when you factor in the idea that Family Guy is not only a show, but got canceled, and then came back and is now in its like 20-something season, it's a good argument for sim theory.
It's still hilarious.
Two-heading, sorry guys, I'm not trying to bring the big science to the room.
the last thing, can you tell Meg that I told her to shut up?
Shut up, Meg! People love just poor Meg, right? I think it's only justifiable because people know it's really Mila.
Who's the hottest woman on the planet?
Right, and she's good mom and like a cool lady, and so people are like, yeah, we can tell her character to just eat shit all day. She's not real.
She's winning in real life.
Look, we're just working it out in our own time. She'd understand. Hey, what's happening? Wait, is that Team Jacob like old school Twilight? Come on, always for the werewolves. That's what it's about.
Were you Team Jacob or were you Team Edward?
I had to listen. I had to be down for the wolf pack. That's the hardest part about it. Like I didn't even. I got aligned with people I wasn't even trying to be friends with. Like me and Joe Manganiello get put on a press line together. You don't want to stand next to Joe Manganiello on a press line. Like Joe doesn't even have to do anything, and he's just like awesome. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Joe? But we're both TV werewolves, so we have to be buddies. I totally sidetracked your question. Anyway, Team Jacob, what do we got?
Well, I'm a big fan of Scooby-Doo because you were Patrick Mersley out Scooby-Doo. I was wondering what was your favourite movie that you filmed in?
You know, it's different. It's different for all different things, right? I've had experiences that were incredible to film. I've had things that were unique challenges for me as an actor. I've had opportunities to collaborate with performers that I revere. So I don't know. It's different things for different reasons. Usually, my favorite thing, the thing I get the most excited about, is whatever's happening right now. So like, if I've got a job, if I've got a character, if I've got a story, that gets me super excited. You know, and I have to put everything into it until we're done. And then I almost don't think about it ever again. Like sometimes you watch the thing and it's like, oh man, I forgot. Look at that, we did that thing. It feels like that sometimes, like watching a dream you had, you know? What's that? I got a queue. I know the people are going to queue up over there, so
Please can head back to that
don't make
area
me.
after this, yes. You can go see him over there. Thank you so much. We're going to take these final questions, please. Thank you, guys.
Oh, boy.
So, you were part of the best show in the 90s about fought against vampires.
Yeah.
So, you played the roof, so how was the makeup process when you turned to the roof? And was it actually you in the suit at one point or no?
Yeah, so the first couple episodes that we did, I did the makeup. And it was awful. It was terrible. Terrible. We did, because I had to do like a mid, which means they just did a whole face thing. I had to do like hands, and it wasn't. So typically, if you're going to do a process like that often enough, they'll build like lace hair pieces. So you can just sort of stick like a wig onto your arm and your hands or something. But they didn't think we were going to do this that often. So like, yeah, let's just get this bag of hair and glue, and then we'll just like. Like that. 7 hours. The first time that we did, there's like a transformation. You see me, like I'm laying in the bushes or something, and then you see me like become a human again. So they did that in reverse by building up all the hair. So the first thing you see is the last thing that we shot, and I'm like in the full process. It's a nightmare. And then the same time that I was doing those first couple episodes, where it was full makeup, like a suit, face, hands, like running in a hallway and shit. It was the same time I was making a movie called Idle Hands, where I had 3 hours of zombie makeup. So I'd like go sit in a chair, 4 in the morning on Buffy, get this like 6-hour makeup process, go shoot for an hour and a half, 45 minutes to get out of all the stuff, drive down to Culver City, get put into like 3 hours of zombie makeup, shoot all night, like affable stoner zombies. And then yeah, my skin, it was rough. It gave me a bit of doing so much like sit still makeup for almost 2 years straight. It gave me all kinds of phobias about like having people touch my face.
Thank you.
Anytime. Oh boy.
Hi.
Hi.
You were in one of Fall Out Boy's music videos, so I just wondered, how did that happen? How did that happen, and how is it different to filming like a normal TV show?
Yeah, I love, it's a funny thing about being an actor. I've just had occasion to meet all kinds of people in the strangest of circumstances. You're like randomly at this premiere or this concert or this like MTV Awards or whatever. And so how that happened, somebody I knew was dating one of the guys in the band, and they came to my house at one point. I had like a Friday night something, like Pete and Patrick came over. And then we just kept seeing each other all the time, and this thing or that. Just we kept running into each other. And eventually they're like, hey, we're shooting in a cemetery right around the corner from you. Do you want to come be in this music video? I was like, yeah. Do you have a suit? I was like, yeah, I got a suit. But I thought it was very funny because they didn't give you any restrictions, and everyone else in the video is very serious. But I'm like weeping. It's supposed to be, I think it's Pete Wentz's funeral, and so I have like tissues and sobbing into Michelle Trachtenberg's shoulders. I thought it was very funny. I love those guys. I love that band. So getting to be a part of their story is super cool. I forced them into, I made a movie called Sex Drive that almost nobody's seen, but it's really good. Although I'm not promoting it in any way, shape, or form. Just a fact that that movie exists and nobody's seen it, but it's actually quite good. I've got them in that movie. This is a great story. Thanks, guys. Thanks for going with me on the journey.
We only have time for one more question, guys. We're going to just
No, we're going to get that. We're going to get Negan. Yeah, we're going to get Negan too.
Cool.
On the way back there. What's up, guys? What do you got? Kick it down, just like Prince. Like kick the bottom out. Woo! There you go. Yeah, that's how you do it. Hi.
So I was going to ask if there was any voice actors that inspired you to actually go into
voice actors that inspired me, I was really into the concept of radio play when I started acting. And I got to do a ton of commercials with people like Jack Guilford and Dick Cavett. And so just getting to be in sessions with those luminary experts, I was aware of them and hungry for anything that they offered. So the first cartoon I did had a guy named Robert McFadden in it who played not just Snarf on the Thundercats, but also Frankenberry. So I was like, so excited. The guy who does all these voices is in the cartoon that I'm on. The same guy, Larry Hammond, who played Lion-O, was in this cartoon. So it was the coolest thing ever, just to get to work with those people. They were all profoundly influential.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. All right, Stretch.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, buddy.
Another TV series and me and my brother also was obviously South Park. And I was just wondering how you think Family Guy and South Park compare. Because sometimes I can't pick, sometimes I'm like...
Well, it's crazy because they're just completely different programs, right? Like, South Park is always great at taking enormous social commentary. Yeah, but also boiling it down to the most relatable of instances. Like, they see something world-shaking through the eyes of kids. And as a result, you get a very boiled down, what are we even doing here kind of response. Whereas Family Guy is just the thing that you turn on when you want to laugh. This show's gonna make you laugh, right? Like, nobody's trying to teach anybody anything watching Family Guy. No one's trying to comment on current events at that same level. South Park almost has taken a responsibility to be highly astute social commentary. Almost more than an entertainment show, more than they tell jokes. They break down what's going on in the world or in the country. I don't think Family Guy has to do anything like that. We'll just make you laugh.
What do you like South Park?
I love South Park. Come on.
What a character?
It's Randy.
Randy, yes. Oh, Randy.
Randy's the worst and the best. And you know, I really appreciate all the pop music he made as Lord.
Yes, Lord, show that thing.
Lord.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Aiden.
Bring us home. Come on, man.
Hi, so...
Wait, is it Negan or is it Henry Bowers?
It's Negan.
Yeah, there it is.
So, I'm a huge fan of Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, released on my birthday.
Oh, this is crazy. I'm in that movie.
Yeah, I know.
I play a museum curator.
Yeah, that's just your nickname in my friend group because we turned it into me. If you got offered to do a sequel by James Gunn, would you take it? Or failing that, would you want to be in this new DC universe? Would you want to be a hero or a villain?
There's a lot of questions. Here's the thing. Me and James Gunn have known each other since we made Scooby-Doo together. As the writer of that film and the least filmed actor in the movie, we spent a ton of time together on the set with nothing to do. He's one of those guys, he's such an incredible storyteller, like such a certain and intentional filmmaker. He knows anytime I fit a character that he wanted to make, I'd show up for it. But the biggest thing that I've learned as an actor, which is humbling and also reassuring, is that directors that you love have a vision. Sometimes you're in it, and sometimes you're not. And it has nothing to do with how good you are or what your value is. It's like the clarity of that vision, how they need the audience to see something in their project. So, yeah. And when he called me and said, yo, I got this, it will be Howard the Duck, I was like, yeah, I do, yeah.
I mean, to be Howard the Duck must have been really humbling, but when Nathan Fillion was announced as Guy Gardner, I thought Seth could have took that role.
Are you kidding? No, the reason Nathan's so good in that role is because Guy is like old school curmudgeon has that haircut on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Guys like, oh, fuck yeah, I got my haircut too.
Yeah.
So I just want to see, I can't wait. I'm
really excited for Superman Legacy, but if you ever get an opportunity to be in the DCU, I will be rooting for you the whole time.
Wait, I'm in, I'm the, I think it's called Thunderbolt in the Stargirl series. Yeah, I get to play the pen.
Yeah. You got that going for you at least.
Oh man, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. What are you in? That's what I should have just started this panel with. My goodness.
Guys, I work hard.
You work hard and often. Any final words for your fans in Manchester? I know you've got some fans that want to meet you at your table. So
yeah, we're doing a table thing, so come meet us. The Stay Puft Marshmallow, man. What's happening? Final words, hey, thanks guys, thanks gang. I really appreciate everybody coming out. I appreciate everybody taking the time. I love the UK. It's a pleasure to get to meet people in person. Thanks for spending your Saturday with me.